let's get to the Wilder Fury, Wilder Ortiz.
Non-news.
Oh my god, it's just weird. This world we live in. Lance Pugmire reporting August 16th. Confirmed to Athletic that the scheduled date for Bronze Bomber Tyson Fury is February 22nd. The Deontay Wilder fight versus Luis Ortiz has to get made first. We know that. And this news story keeps developing. My commenter saying sources Deontay Wilder Luis Ortiz 2 is likely moving off November 9th to November 23rd. Now targeted for a heavyweight title bout. One reason date keeps shifting. And I think this is probably the reason the date keeps shifting. You don't think so, Rob? You think it's the other one? You think it's the other reason? You're so full of bands today. Both Fox, this is my commenter talking. Both Fox and Showtime expect to carry the pay-per-view fight, and it hasn't been sorted. Jake Donovan reported Las Vegas as the likely site first, and then keep moving on with this story, and it just gets weird really fast here. Lance reporting nothing done yet, but believed that Bronze Bomber Luis Ortiz rematch is being moved, obviously. And a slightly more important fight is going to the original Staples Center. KSI versus Logan Paul 2, which is being promoted by Matchroom Boxing.
Say what?
Oh, my God. What are we doing here, Rob?
We're reporting on great business for DAZN.
Oh my god, this is just weird. First off, let's table the Logan KSI shit for maybe never.
Let's put some respect on the name.
Yeah, just because you spent money to actually go to that shit.
I had to take somebody, and who wouldn't want to be there?
Anyways, now, Rob, you made the joke. I think people understand now probably that you think Logan versus KSI 2 being put into Staples is the main reason why this fight is still not being made. Do you really think that, or is that just like the joke?
I don't know. It was, look, first of all, Lance Pugmire, if his sources tell The Athletic or whatever it was Tyson Fury on SportsCenter saying, oh, breaking news, February the 22nd is the rematch, then take his sources with a pinch of salt if that's who your sources are, because it was only 2 days ago, and I forgot to clip it, but 2 days ago, I think BT Sport interview, Tyson Fury said, it looks like Wilder's fighting Ortiz in November, so I want another fight in December in the UK. He said, which I'm allowed one fight or something in the UK with my contract with ESPN or whatever it is. And he said, I'm like, Uncle Frank will get it made, but I want another fight in December in the UK because, so I believe my rematch with Wilder will get pushed back from the February date. 2 days later, it's February the 22nd. Like he said about 5 weeks ago, which we told you that he said it at one of his meet and greets. He told the crowd that February 22nd. And we've done, Bob Arum even spoke this and said that. But I think he said it like that's the date that's kind of penciled in, or that's the date we're looking for. And then he mentioned the dual pay-per-view, this, that, and the other. But I just can't see Deontay Wilder fighting Luis Ortiz, and then 13 weeks later, he's in the ring with Tyson Fury. I think that's too small of a window for a training camp, a fight, promotion, training camp, fight. I think that's back-to-back, very quick turnaround. If it was a Brazil 1 round, maybe. Even then, I'd be doubtful. Even if Wilder got rid of Ortiz in a round, I still think it's unlikely. They'll move this, I think. But as for the date being moved, do I think it's because of the 2 YouTubers? No, not really. I'm sure it's not that. But it was just Staples Center, November 9th was the one muted for Wilder and Ortiz. And now all of a sudden, it might be KSI and Logan Paul, the rematch.
And you know what? I don't know how I feel about the switch up, in terms of like what I could be credentialed for. Like KSI, Logan Paul too, which probably do great YouTube numbers. Or Wilder Ortiz too, which is like an actual like fight.
Go to the one that will be sold out.
Where they said MGM, right? Did they say MGM for?
I think it was, yeah. MGM Vegas, yeah.
They could sell that out. They could sell it to MGM. The MGM's like a 14,000 seater. Like that's not that bad. And Wilder kind of does that 14,000 number, right? Like he hits that a lot. While Tyson Fury is finding the T-Mobile Arena, and the lower bowl is open. So
pointless.
A 25,000 arena that now only seats 10,000 because you scaled it down. Weird. But anyways, want to talk about the KSI Logan Paul thing? Like,
I mean,
are you intrigued by it at all? Like, I'm really not.
I'm intrigued in. I don't care who wins the fight. I'm not interested in the fight, but I'm intrigued because I've been told that they are 90% sure that DAZN are picking this up, and that this is actually a thing with Matchroom promoting it. Now, I believe the first fight through YouTube did something like 1.6, 1.7 million buys on the YouTube for the first fight.
And it was $10 a pay-per-view buy?
Yeah, that's right. Sold out arena. Beatlemania basically kicked in. It was like kids walking around and suddenly they had 50 people trying to get a photo with them. I'm like, who the fuck is that? Oh, it's apparently another YouTuber with 10 million subscribers. I'm like, shit, he looks about 12. But for DAZN, I don't know. I think
I'll be shocked if it goes to DAZN. They're YouTubers, like the YouTube like partners. Like these guys are, what? The Paul brothers have like tens of millions of subscribers. KSI has tens of millions of subs.
Between KSI and Logan Paul, with Twitter, Instagram, and their YouTube channel, this has got a reach combined of about 60 million. Like I say, across their YouTube, their Instagram, and Twitter sort of following. So because I just think if DAZN throw enough money at these guys, they're going to do it. Because this last fight, apart from advertising and stuff like that, but purely it did like $11 million or something. But if DAZN give them that each or something, you know what I mean? This is it's not going to make people stick around. But if this is suddenly like a peak of like 3 million subscribers, 4 million, or some crazy number, I don't know. It's to me seems like good business. And some of them forget to not pay, and you know what I mean. I don't know. I just think it's interesting to me. There's just how the numbers work, and if this is all true.
No, I understand your point. I don't see YouTube letting their like biggest brand ambassadors go to in a sense, a definite competitor now. Like DAZN is a competitor in the streaming market with YouTube. YouTube is getting into sports more, getting more into live TV, more into live streaming overall. So they are going to be competitors. It would be weird. It would be a shocker if these two massive YouTubers went to DAZN. It'd be like two massive Netflix personalities or Netflix shows going to Amazon Prime. They'd just be like, that's weird. Wasn't expecting that one. But sort of stitching back to Wilder Ortiz too, because we didn't really talk about this subject the way I wanted it to.
That's the smaller fight.
Yes. The Showtime Fox battle. It seems like it's becoming more and more of a internal issue for fights to get made. I think it's in large part a reason why Spence Porter took so long to be announced. Why Danny Garcia still doesn't have a fight announced. Mikey still doesn't have a fight announced, because I think for PBC as an entity to match make fights, to put fights together, and then to go sell them to Fox or to Showtime and have them bid for it, I think PBC is in a weird place where they are trying to figure out how to organize their content again. You know what I mean? Like, because the way they structure their shows on Showtime is drastically different than the ways they structure them on Fox. You know what I mean? So they have to have some preemptive thought when it comes to sort of making these shows and sort of putting them together. And then on top of that, you're sort of in the process of bidding on them. And what if Fox doesn't bid on this big card? Well, then the card has to be thrown out because Showtime can't pick it up. They have too many big names on it. Fox could pay for it, but Showtime can't. You know, like there's certain issues here where I think, not that like red flags are here. Cause, you know, I mean, we had the video earlier this week about how I think PBC is largely the most successful promotional, air quotes, company this year. Specifically, only this year. But I do think that it is hard to like have a wagon with the two horses and they're not connected. You know, like how can you go forward in like in your wagon, in your cart, if your two horses aren't going the same direction? And Showtime and Fox are not going the same direction. So I'm just curious how this transpires, how this relationship gets maneuvered, because it is seemingly more and more of an issue where Fox and Showtime are battling for content, and PBC's in the middle going, I don't know what to do, and they just sit on their hands, and they don't do anything. And that's an issue more than anything. Like, if PBC just stuck to their guns, like, no, sorry, Showtime, Fox, or sorry, Fox, we're going to Showtime, and they just stuck to that, I think this wouldn't be an issue. But it seems like there is we don't know what to do here. We have our parents fighting. I don't like this. You know, I get that vibe of it, you know, like where it's like the kid and his mom and dad are yelling at each other and he just wants to sit there and be quiet. That's PBC and Heyman. They're the kid in the middle just wanting to be quiet while their parents bicker about which fights they pick up.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like we've reported before, Tim Smith told PBC podcast there's a bidding process and then kind of waffled on about, but, you know, others, you know, one fighter's been somewhere, they'll go on the other one and this, but he kind of said, you know, goes to the highest bidder basically. So, but this is really testing the whole loyalty theory, you know, with Wilder staying with Showtime and Espinoza, you know, sort of back it. I'm just saying.
No. I want to add. No, I want to add. No, let me add to that.
Okay.
Because I think there's an interesting part to that dynamic. Who was the loudest person talking about that? It wasn't a PBC official. It was Showtime. You know what I mean? Like even Wilder, you know, he had his comments like, "Oh, Showtime's been awesome for me," but he never went on the fucking plank like Steven Espinoza did every time. Like, no, we are loyalty. We built Deontay Wilder. He's going to stay here forever because of our relationship, because of loyalty. And he said that for what, 2 years straight?
Yeah, I mean, Wilder's dipped out with the whole loyalty.
But he did. But he's not really a PBC official. Like Tim Smith never said that. You never had anyone from PBC directly going out and saying no loyalty. It was Espinoza. And to your point, because I think there was rumblings for that Fox deal for a long time before we heard about it, obviously. I wonder how much of that was like the canary singing. Like Espinoza out there saying, hey, loyalty. They're never going to leave us. The whole time knowing, hey, this Fox deal is coming down the pipeline. We're now going to be competing with our own promotional company that we work with. And, you know, how much of that was him trying to go up out there in the media and defend PBC the most. So, you know, the relationship is the most harmonious. You know, I'm just looking back on it now. You could see maybe where Espinoza and Showtime were concerned about where this was heading. And you didn't realize that at the moment. And only in hindsight could you see it.
Yeah, I mean, what's the Boxing Esquire guy?
Kurt Emhoff, right?
Yeah, he tweeted...
good guy.
If this fight ends up on Fox and I'm Showtime, I'm pissed. You know, I think their whole thing is based around Wilder now. And if he goes over to Fox, which I think Potential Lunatic said it in the chat, if you're the main guys at PBC, you want to be on Fox.
No, absolutely.
You know, you're not that going on Showtime's a bad thing. I'm not saying, you know, it's Showtime. It's synonymous with boxing. It's done all big fights and this, that, and the other. But Fox have come along and everyone's there at the Fox fights. Everyone's getting interviews on Fox throughout the telecast. It seems I'm always seeing clips of, it was someone else's fight, but Keith Thurman was stood, kind of with a little panel discussing a fight, and every fighter seems to be up on that little spotlight and getting some airtime and stuff. So they all want to be on the bigger numbers, bigger viewing audience, and so yeah, I don't know. I mean, what are we now? August 18th, something like that. Still no announcement for this Ortiz rematch for Wilder, but it's going to have to come pretty soon, I guess. And yeah, so tracing it with like I say, the Fury rematch, I see it getting pushed back till later in the spring, maybe even like early summer. Like, I don't know, but it seems a very narrow window for someone of, as we know, these bigger names, when they're not getting three or four fights in the space of, what would it be, like, I don't know, 8 months or something. That seems very unrealistic to me. But I tweeted that and someone replied, "You're joking. Wilder's not scared of anyone." I'm like, I didn't say he was scared of anyone. I just don't think
it's not normal. It's not normal.
Yeah,